It's like, how many times did they call her voice actress into the studio to record? Like, were they really like, we need you to record 30 seconds. Goodbye.
Here's the new villain. We beat the new villain. We move on. Here's the new villain. We beat the new villain. We move on. Here's the new villain. We beat the new villain. We move on. Here's the new villain. We beat the new villain. We move on. Here's the new villain.
Run. Welcome to Potagus, your friendly 8-legged dog bus companion through the 2020 Digimon Adventure reboot. This week we're discussing episode 37, Mimi-chan Wars. I'm your host, Jeff Ruberg, and for my guest this week, I am excited to welcome back my friend and Grand Blue Fantasy captain, Aaron. Thanks for coming back on the show.
Oh, thanks for having me. Happy to be back on another Mimi-filled episode.
Yeah, so I was baffled and surprised to realize how long it's been since you were last on the show, because I was like, oh yeah, Lilymon's debut like 10 episodes ago? No, it was...
was it like 13 or something?
Yeah, it was episode 12. 25 episodes ago. Oh my god. Jeez.
I mean, if you want me to talk about an episode where Sora is just standing there useless, I would also be game for that. I mean, who knows what'll happen next, but yeah, no. I'm down for any other episodes too, not only Mimi episodes.
I was trying to remember when you were saying that, I was like, wait, was Sora in the Lilymon one? No, right? No, she was
not in the Lilymon one. No.
Yeah. She was with the other group.
She was absently here in this one.
Right. I was like, is there a difference between when she is there and when she isn't there? Like,
no.
So how have you been feeling about the show in general since then?
I've liked the development so far. I thought that it's been pretty interesting. I do feel like there are moments where I'm just like, and instead of giving another character development, you're going to give another evolution to Greymon. That's great. But, he's the protagonist. I guess it can't be helped. Overall, though, I just said it can't be helped. That feels so unnatural in English. Overall, I've liked it so far, though. I'd say it's been more interesting than I thought. But I still want to know more about Zeed Millenniummon and stuff. And it seems like, are we gonna get that soon? Hopefully.
Yeah. Hopefully, I guess. I don't know. As you were saying that, I was just in my head racing through the possibilities of a Shikataganai Greymon or a Shogunai Greymon.
I mean, you could have a Shogun I Greymon, and it could be, Greymon digivolving with Sora's useless crest, and he could be a love-filled, love-themed Shogun, Greymon version. That would be great.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I definitely my end of my rant is I really feel like that episode where we got Blitz Greymon should have been prime opportunity for Hercules Kabuterimon. That would have made so much more sense. But no, let's give a second mega before anyone else gets one.
Yeah, even second. If you also count Mugendermon.
Yeah, I guess third. Yeah, he gets 3.
I'm trying to remember, was there any others? No.
I guess Omegamon.
Oh, Omegamon, yeah, so fourth.
So yeah, fourth. Yeah, he gets a fourth one.
Well, I guess 3.5, because I guess Omegamon shared.
Yeah, it's shared, and I guess there was only so much he could do with his sword, gun arm that he got. I don't know. I felt that it was really unnecessary to get the red recolor of War Greymon. I didn't really care for that much, to be honest.
Yeah, that's totally understandable. And have you been watching as each episodes come out, or did you wait for episodes to batch up and then watch them in chunks?
As they come out, except for I think a couple weeks ago I was kind of busy, and so I watched maybe 2 or 3 at once. But overall, been watching him pretty standard. I did like the twist that Dark Knightmon was Gatomon. I thought that was kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't expect that one a couple weeks ago. But yeah, I've been watching them as they come out every week.
Were you confused when it initially happened about whether that was actually what was going on until the recap explained?
Yeah, no, definitely. When Dark Knightmon swallowed Hikari, I was just like, oh, so it's just Gatomon trapped inside of this Digimon, and then it was actually no. I was just okay.
Yeah, the recap explaining that, and then I kind of cracked this week when the recap explaining past episodes plots was somehow they defeated blah blah blah, or somehow they diverted the ISS, and it's somehow we saw it and you still have no idea how to explain what happened. That's the show, I guess.
Why bother explaining it when we could have an entire episode with the cast falling from the sky towards the ground where nothing happens? Because that's better.
Well, you need to lead into the next episode where the cast then sits on a turtle and goes across the ocean where nothing happens. So
what I'm getting here is that we have half of the show that just doesn't have anything happen in it. We've got the bottom of the ocean where nothing really happens. So
Yeah, that'd be an interesting topic that comes up, 'cause I think you could also frame this episode as one that where it's like a quote unquote filler episode, nothing really happens. But let's go into this week's episode. Episode 37, Mimi-chan Wars, aka Undercover Girl Boss Mimi, aka Mimi's Bling Empire, aka Mimi Tachigawa, stars in Uncut Gems. So, spoiler policy for this week, like always, we'll be talking about everything in the Crunchyroll episode, which includes the stuff at the end, the title and preview for next week. And also anything from the original adventure is fair game, but if we talk about other seasons, we will give you a fair warning, and we probably won't talk about. There is a title and synopsis for the episode 2 weeks from now that is online, which we probably won't talk about. But if we do, we'll put it at the very end. I might talk about it because I'm really intrigued by the title.
and I don't know it, so I am looking forward to this possible conversation at the end of the podcast.
So, okay, so what happened this week? Everyone's resting by a river. Taichi and Sora go off looking for food, end up falling in the river, and they land somewhere else and get captured by Mimi. Mimi explains that the Galtzamon are being held captive and being forced to work in a fortress-like thing. So then they have a plan to go save them. Sora distracts some Sonorizamon while Greymon breaks into the fortress. Mimi finds out where the stones are being kept and then runs off on her own to get the stones instead of the people they're trying to save. And then Mimi and Taichi find the gem storehouse, and Gagumon eating the gems. Togemon falls to Lilymon, bursts through Gagumon's armor by shooting a diamond, and wins the day. Then they say a heartfelt goodbye. Golemon becomes acting president of Mimi-chan Company, and the real capitalism was the friends we met along the way.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. Base impression. What'd you like, or did you like this episode?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I kind of liked keep in mind I watched the English version of this. I don't remember how the Japanese one went, but I liked the bratty princess episode as well in the original adventure. Although I was very annoyed in that episode because I thought it was the prime time for Lilymon to come, and then it didn't. She got saved by Taichi in that one. But I thought it was pretty good. I mean, it gave me at the beginning, I was like, is Mimi gonna be like Hermione Granger and try to liberate them like house elves? Is this what's going on? But then it was like, no, not that at all.
So I love this episode. I think it was possibly the best of the show.
The best of the show. That's a big statement.
Maybe it's a little bit too hasty to make that conclusion, but definitely in recent memory, like maybe not as good as like the second episode or the first episode or something, but definitely with like how I felt like bogged down by the recent 30 episodes or 25 episodes or so, and it's like this one felt like a huge pressure for a huge breath
of fresh air.
Is that what breath of fresh air? Is that the phrase?
Yeah.
Is that word? Oh my god! I was like, is it a brush? A brush of fresh
air. The sponsor of our podcast. No.
So, but even with all that being said, I think there is. If you read it too closely, there's a lot of jokes and a lot of gags that I think are great, and there's a lot of personality they're giving me, which is I am living for, because the show, like that's the main thing the show has been lacking, is personality and fun and whimsy. But those jokes they're giving to Mimi they're inconsistent, and like the whole premise of liberating these workers who are being abused while also treating Taichi like she's like treating, like bossing Taichi around, not caring about his feelings and stuff, and it's like it's funny and it works as a joke.
Yeah.
But if you read it too closely, it's like, okay, she's kind of being as bad of a boss as she is trying to save them from.
Yeah, no, that was definitely a thing I thought when I was watching it. I was just like, are you any different? I mean, I guess you're not enslaving Digimon. You're just saying that you're my employees and my underlings. Yeah, like I thought it was funny, but I was like, okay, when Taichi and Doesn't Matter Girl showed up, and they were called 72 and 73, and I was just like, that's kind of funny, but and then like when she's getting attacked and she's just like, go on, number 72. That I laughed at that. I thought that was funny.
That one was really well executed, because it's like she has this dramatic speech about, like, I forget exactly what she's talking about, but it's like very uplifting and dramatic, and then she's like, go on, 72, and Taichi's like, wait, is that me? Should I go? Like
Yeah, that was actually funny. I was like, no, see, that's how you use Taichi to, like, get the job done, rather than having him steal your shining moment. Yeah, no, like I thought that was executed pretty well, as much as I was like question mark at first, but I did find it funny when Taichi was just like, I don't know all this gem speak that you're talking about, but go off, sis.
But I think like I think the most egregious part of it is when she abandons the plan that she like rehearses with them to just be like, "Well, I'm not gonna go. Like, we're here to save the Goatsmon. Oh, I'm just gonna go find the gems. I want the gems." And it's like,
Yeah.
I mean, this is funny and it's like a good joke in the moment, but like, does she actually care?
Yeah, it's kind of that thing where you're just like, so does she care about them or does she just want a diamond?
Yeah,
Because it kind of feels like she just wants a diamond until, when eventually she's just like, and now launch that diamond that I found. But here is my problem with that whole scene is that they made it dramatic, like she's giving up this diamond to give it to Lilymon to then shoot at the big baddie and destroy him. But there are piles and piles of gems where there are diamonds literally standing, like sitting all around there. So couldn't she have just picked up another diamond? I didn't really see the point of like the dramatic, nature of that.
yeah. Also, like when I looked back on the episode, I'm like, okay, what actually happened in this scenario? Like, with the loose structure of the scenario was just
Yeah,
they could capture Mimi. Mimi says she is gonna storm the fortress. They storm the fortress. They win. Okay, like it's a very dull scenario, and
yeah,
even the battles I thought were really not poorly executed, but like I think the thing that really stands out to me is that I think the attack was called Curse Reflection. The
yeah,
Goblin has. He uses the exact same animation 3 times, and I was like, okay, fine. One of those is really cool because, like, on its own, that one sequence they reuse is really cool, and like it shoots beams everywhere. And like one of the times,
yeah.
Lilymon flies in between them, and it looks really cool. But then when he does it 2 more times,
Yeah, during that sequence, like I kept thinking it's a good thing that we have Lilymon fighting and not like, Metal Greymon because he's so huge that there's no way he would have been able to dodge all of those. So that was like a real like Lilymon is the only one that can beat him right now kind of cool thing. But
yeah, yeah,
yeah, no, I thought like I agree that I guess compared to some of the episodes beforehand, it's been one of the more interesting ones that we've had. It's not just been like, and let's chug along with the plot, but not really touch it and just kind of move around the digital world. I thought it was kind of like fun slash disturbing having, our good old big baddie, visibly eating Digimon. Because like this season really seems to be harping back the fact that like all of these Digimon eat each other and kill each other, and they are wild beasts made of digital matter. So kind of more direct than I guess Pokemon, where you just get things in the game where they're just like, here's a Slowpoke tail.
oh no, don't think about the Slowpoke tail and where that comes
Don't
from.
think about it.
But doesn't we didn't actually see like Gagumon explicitly eating Gotsumon, right?
No, we just saw like the data bits, like the little like
Uh,
blue squares on his face. Because I guess he doesn't have any napkins in that pile of gems.
uh, yeah, I think it was really just the dialogue that carried this entire episode. Like it was so many good Mimi
I mean,
lines.
Mimi did have a lot of gifts and one-liners that you could like easily make.
Yeah, but even it wasn't even just Mimi. Like I liked the moment in the beginning when Taichi's going off to like forage for food, so he like
Hmm.
is telling like that Tailman has to watch after Hikari and Patamon has to watch after
Yeah.
Takaru, and Tailman's like, "I'll swear to protect you, Hikari," and Patamon's like, "I'll play with you, Takaru," and Hikari's like, "That's not what he meant."
Yeah, because it kind of made me laugh when I saw that scene because I thought that we were going to get more wise and mature Patamon this series, and it's just like, no, he's only slightly more.
Yeah, this I was like, this reframes my expectations of how the maturity of Patamon. Because yeah, until this scene, I thought that he was like basically retained all of his maturity and most of his memories, but now I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, I guess he's a child. I
Question
don't know.
mark? Is this inconsistency or is this what's supposed to happen? Who knows?
Yeah, so I don't know. Good joke in the moment. Let's hope it ties into.
And I
the-
did love the scene in the middle of the episode where we've got our lovely cute doggy express falling asleep, and they're
oh,
like, oh no, wake up."
which makes no sense because it's like he's running with 8 legs while falling asleep. It's so silly, but
I mean, have you ever tried to carry children across a continent running with 8 legs? Maybe you would fall asleep. Don't
you're
judge
right.
him.
Yeah, I haven't tried it, so I can't judge.
Yeah, I can say that this episode has shown me that they do not disappoint in coming up with very questionable names for all of the new Digimon that we've had this season. Tsunade-sama, I'm like, okay, Sand Lizardmon, that's very, okay. You had a name and you went with it. You were just like, what is this thing? It's a sand lizard. Let's name it Sand Lizardmon.
Yeah, that especially tripped me up when I first saw it because I was like, let's say Sonariza? Sonariza? What's a Sonariza? Oh, it's Sunariza. Oh, that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I don't have a better idea. So, that's me talking like this and being like, ha, silly names. But I don't know. I'm not feeling some of the new Digimon names in the series so far. I guess how many Digimon do we have now? Like, I should give them a little slack, They're trying to come up with new names.
I remember as a kid, I think it was in the episode where Kakatrimon appeared as a
Hmm.
kid, and is it Kakatri in the dub or is it Kakatorimon? I think it's
Kakatoriman, I think,
Yeah,
if I
so I think
remember
it's
right.
Kakatorimon, and I remember as a kid being like, at some point there are gonna be so many Digimon that it's just a bunch of random syllables. Like it's just gonna be like Kakatuko Tuko Buku 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 Mon. And looking back on it, it's like it was just cockatrice, but cut off. Like
I
and
know,
like
right?
and now it's like, okay, like if they're gonna be elaborate, it's gonna be like adjective noun, sand, lizard. Like it's not that complex. Like
Yeah. I mean, I guess to be fair, we've got Lilymon but then again, why is Greymon's name Greymon when he's an orange like T-Rex?
because it's from Great, maybe?
Maybe.
Maybe?
I don't know.
I feel like the recent card game booster set being called Great Legend and featuring a bunch of different Greymon forms, I feel like that's like as canonical a confirmation that Greymon is short for great as we're ever gonna get.
I mean, as long as he's not Tony the Tiger and he's great.
That would, you know, as much as like, I'll defend the dub. I know a lot of people will hate on the English dub, but like you have to at least admit the English dub did not do Tony the Tiger, so like they had some restraint.
Yeah, they did have something right. I would say there are some choices that I do actually love from the dub, like Edamon being, Elvis. Like I loved that actually.
Yeah, I think some of those caricatures go too far, but Edamon being Elvis like fits perfectly.
Yes, it's my fantasy.
I wrote down this note, which now realizing what was in the preview for next episode does not, I don't think will tie in. But when I saw that Gogmamon is apparently played by the voice actor of Nanimon in the original adventure, Kenji
Hmm.
Nomura, I was like, oh, is that like maybe a hint that like he also played Nanimon in Joe's scenario? That maybe Nanimon's gonna talk next week, but it seems like Joe's not with Nanimon anymore.
No, I mean, evidently he's graduated from being in the onsen. He needs to go and venture forward and not just sit in the onsen for 15 episodes.
Yeah, he graduated. Well, we graduated from this Princess Mimi episode into the Joe and Matt at a diner episode, I guess.
Joe and Matt at a diner with a side of like human offering, I mean Digimon offerings. Like I don't know. It looks like it's gonna be a real wild ride. That's all I know about it. I just saw that ending and I was just like, this is what's happening next week. I see.
Yeah, I feel like I came into the episode like loving it and like having so many positive thoughts, and we've kind of like dulled those reaction a little bit, but also like as much like so many things that Mimi said this episode, I wanted to be like like cheering along with her, like it's very like pro workers' rights, like
Mm-hmm.
all this stuff, but like she's basically like I was thinking about this when I was making jokes on social media, like captioning shit posts and whatever, and I was like, do I want to say that like Mimi is forming a union? No, because she's not pro union. She's basically like pro management, pro her being the management, and
Yeah.
management being a little bit less shitty to its employees.
So she's like Karen Light. She's like, I don't have to talk to the manager because I'm the manager,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you're 72 and 73. I did kind of find it funny that she made this big deal in the middle of the episode where she was just like, the reason why my grandpa's company works so well is because he saw them all as family, and I think that all these people are like my family and friends. But then I was like, but do you treat your family like servants? I don't
And like you
really.
don't know their name and you call them by number, like
Yes. I mean,
yeah.
maybe that is how Mimi's family works. And maybe she just wanted to get paid in diamonds. Maybe that's what I should let her live her life. No, I really liked the ending when she did call them all her friends and she was really happy and like saying goodbye to them. It seemed like she really did care. Another fun thing that I noticed thinking about episode 12 and this episode is it seems that at the end of any battle where they've had Lilymon fight, we get the place transformed into a flowery paradise, which I think is pretty fun.
Yeah, it did make me like sad seeing that because I was like, wait, have we not seen Lilymon attack since then? And I think we have seen like
Yeah, we saw her attack
in that like Orochimon.
also against Kalmarimon.
Yeah, yeah. But never like a focus like her getting the
Yeah,
finishing blow kind of thing.
yeah, definitely.
Oh, speaking of those episodes, actually, I because I found this episode such a fun divergence from the tone of the rest of the show, I looked
Mm,
up the who wrote the screenplay, and
hmm
because I was like, oh, maybe it's like a totally different writer and stuff, and no, apparently it's Hiroshi Yamaguchi who wrote episode 6, The Targeted Kingdom,
hmm
and Lily Mon Bloom's episode 12, so like both the previous mini episodes, which
Oh, that's fun.
that tracks. It's interesting. I'm surprised though, because like this one definitely you can feel the inspiration from those other two,
Yeah.
but I feel like it's an extra step above in terms of the whimsy and the fun.
hmm
But what really confused and surprised me is that they also wrote the episode 17, the Orochiman episode, which I remember I really. I don't think most people dislike that episode, but I really dislike that episode.
I mean, I think that the tones are very different from what we've been seeing with this kind of like partially comedy, lighthearted, like, but then, we had episode 12 being really sad. I guess they're trying to show their range. I don't know.
Yeah, Mimi has range, so.
Yeah. Oh, one thing I did think about that's tying all the way back to the Blitzgreymon talk that I had at the
Hmm.
beginning is I wonder if but this is very unlikely because they're not protagonists, and we're going to be lucky if all of them get their megas. So I'm not going to push my luck, but it would be cool if they gave at least like one alternate form to every one of the Digidestins, like Digimon. Like
Mm.
I just want Bancho Lilymon to be real, or Lotusmon. I take Lotusmon too. I don't mind that, but like either that or I don't know, giving them something extra because it's like why do Taichi and Yamato get to have everything? Because they're the protagonist and it's they're the
Yeah.
boys and the lead characters. That's why. But still, I want Bancho Lilymon. She completes my fantasy.
I had so much brief hope that okay, like having alternate mega evolutions was too much. Like I can't expect that much. But then once the like mode changes, like the Alterus mode and Sagittarius mode got introduced, I was like,
Yeah.
okay, so alternate megas is too much, but like maybe they could give these to the other ultimates too, and no, that was too much as well. It's always too much.
I mean, but Lilymon's drill pierced the heavens today, so
I was confused. Is that a normal attack of Lilymon?
I'm not sure. I didn't recognize it, but they didn't like give it a special attack name either.
Oh
So
yeah.
maybe it is like a normal, like a utilization of her flower cannon. Let me look and see on the Digimon wiki if she's got like alternate ones besides like the flower necklace and flower cannon.
Also, I never realized that Lilymon has an attack called Temptation.
Oh yeah, I didn't know that she had temptation either.
Right, so Rosemont has forbidden temptation and Lilymon has temptation. Non-forbidden. Allowed temptation, I guess.
Oh, it looks like she has an attack called Flower Cutter, so maybe that's what that drill was. I'm not sure.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'd have to probably go back and rewind and see if I could hear any name for that attack. I didn't hear one though.
So, this was a good episode. Oh, I guess, we should also talk about the analyzer sequence at the end.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh my God, I was laughing during that. I was just like, Koshiro confirmed gay.
Yeah,
All
that,
of the rippling biceps and abs and pecs. I was just like, you really are focusing on Leomon.
yeah, like, if it were coming from the mouth of someone who, like, was very much a gym bro, I could be okay.
Yeah.
I mean, this has gay vibes, but, like, maybe this person's straight, but, like, Koshiro talking about it, like, I don't think Koshiro wants to hit the gym for that kind of reason.
No, no, he does not. But maybe he's giving bi vibes. Who knows? I'm not gonna judge Koshiro. Maybe he thinks that, great bodies are great. It's just been funny hearing all of his commentary at the end of all the episodes throughout the season, because I'm just like, these are personality layers to Koshiro I didn't really know about. This is sure interesting.
Yeah, I've been kind of not bored, but like exhausted by them when it's just like follows the same formula of like Kushiro saying something cool about this Digimon and then Kabuteimon being like, "But why don't I get that?" But
Yeah,
this one was fun.
this one was fun. It was very much a icon status.
And I guess like the general like fun tone of that sequence basically confirms Leomon's not dead, right? Like I don't think he would be
Yeah.
talking about his rippling abs if he was dead.
Yeah, that was what I was, thinking from it. And also, I didn't realize until I watched Adventure earlier in the season. I mean, this version of Adventure, I guess, this Digimon series earlier in the season. I was just like, oh my gosh, Leomon's voice is Rackham from Grand Blue. I can't
Oh,
like That's crazy. But yeah.
Now that I think about it, Koshiro didn't actually meet Leomon, right? Because
Oh yeah.
because Leomon met up with Taichi and Yamato, and then they eventually were pulled back in, but they were probably only on Eldoradamon together for like half an episode or whatever. So I
Yep.
guess seeing Leomon's abs is like the only impression he's gotten. He was just like, "Oh, that guy's hot over there. Who's that?"
I think that pretty much must be. I mean, obviously, that's what this elementary school student is thinking about this ripped lion.
Yeah, I have conflicting thoughts. Like, I want to lean into this joke of it being really fun how he's talking about how hot the lion is, but also like he is an elementary school student.
Yeah, yeah, that was my thing too. Is I'm just like, if we had like try-aged Koshiro and he was saying this, I would be
Mm-hmm.
like, I can fully lean into this. But I have to like say, give him the benefit of the doubt and say maybe he's just like, wow, such a a hunk of a lion man, Jesus. I mean, I can't see any other layer or like lens for this than what we talked about. But
I
at any rate.
mean, yeah, like, I don't know. When I was that age, I definitely had confused thoughts about seeing shirtless men like that. So, I mean, he's
Mhm.
just, it's not like he's explicitly, we're not like sexualizing a child. We're just saying,
No,
like, he's interested.
he's open and interested, yes. For whatever reason. Yeah, but will this be the first season where Leomon does not permanently die? The world may never know.
No, I don't think it's possible.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be sad if he just never comes back, and it's like, I guess he lived. But all right, let's move on to some through reviews. I think we'll probably get to some more thoughts that'll come up later in the episode. So at one Lady of Blades 1 said, "Gaslight Gatekeep Girl Boss." Good meme.
At Uamon08, I guess, said, yes, filler episode.
Yeah. At Yawning said, "The Tactician, Mimi-chan."
At Dak and Jackster said, President Mimi rocks.
Good pun, good pun.
I didn't realize that was a pun until just now. Anyway, moving on.
At Pastelmon Art said, "Mimi's executive realness."
The realness.
Yeah, she slayed that
Um,
runway.
She did say that from had Andy Lucas OE said Mimi's Minecraft management.
At Bored Individual said, "More Mimi episodes."
At CC Takado or C2, I'm not sure what we're pronouncing here. Said Mimi still best.
Was that a Code Geass reference?
That was a Code Geass
Okay.
reference.
I think CC Takado's name, I never confirmed this with him. I think it's referencing Cardcaptor. Cardcaptor
Card
Takado.
captor. Okay.
But yeah, at Thousand Lion, President for Life.
At the blue Digi-Egg, I'm number 74.
Which I don't think that's accurate, because a bunch of the Gotsumon are, I think, number 74 through 98 or whatever.
Let the blue Digi-Egg live their fantasy and be number 74.
It's true, yeah. We haven't seen it on screen, so at Empire Will said, "Show's only personality."
At
True.
the red Digi-Egg, ooh, we got the red one this time. Mimi was insufferable.
Yeah, they we'll get to that in a bit. They did not agree.
Yeah.
And finally, at Golden Pelt, unionize the Gotsumon. Yep, that's the real answer. They should have unionized instead of just installing Golemon as Mimi's puppet, basically.
Definitely. They should have unionized. They should have gotten a higher minimum wage. They should have gotten benefits. Come on.
But yeah, so on to some listener questions. Before we get into listener questions, there was one piece of feedback from last week that we were joking about about putting Hey Digimon over scenes from Evangelion. And
Oh my God.
so listener and Andy Lucas OE did not do that over Evangelion, but put Hey Digimon over a bunch of iconic movie scenes. And I'll have a link to this in the show notes, but my favorite one that he did was putting it over the Avengers Endgame, like Victoria's Battle.
That sounds amazing. Also, before we splice all the American TV show endings, like theme songs, into the new Digimon series just to see how terrible it sounds, I am game for that as well.
Oh yeah, I also send you the same listener did that for Angelomon's appearance, like
Oh my
the
gosh.
evolution, like put Hey Digimon on it, and
That's so good.
I was gonna say like it doesn't work, but it works just as well as it worked in the original show. So
I mean, how dare you imply it doesn't work?
well, okay, so at Thousand Lions said Mimi-chan is a gem, and if nothing else, this reboot was worth it just for her. Which Andy Lucas OE said, "Does Sora have any agency in this adventure? I think you nailed it when you mentioned the writers have no idea what to do with her, so she just tags along with Tai, so she doesn't have any character herself. I'm dreading her focus episode. We need a charismatic villain ASAP." And then they have an image of Demi Devimon. Yeah, that that pretty much echoes what you were saying, Aaron, about
Yeah, I mean, like, honestly though, really, what has Sora done this entire series? Like, how many times did they call her voice actress into the studio to record? Like, were they really like, we need you to record 30 seconds, goodbye? Like, I really don't understand it. What is her current purpose in the show? Besides to say Birdramon.
Yeah, there are like brief glimmers of like in this episode where she jumped into the water gung ho, and I was like, oh, she is this cool action hero kind of thing.
Yeah.
But like that whole sequence made no sense. Like at least they copped up to it later and they admitted like
Mhm.
once they've landed. I don't know if it's Sora or Piyamon who says it, but like they're basically like, well, if you had evolved into Birdramon from the beginning, we wouldn't have had this problem.
Yeah.
And it's nice they admitted it, but that doesn't excuse the like them having terrible logic before that point. Like
Like it's one of those things that it frustrates me because I like Sora and I want her to like get good representation in this anime and I want her to be like
mhm,
likable and to
yeah.
not just be like side character that people are just like why are you even here, but it's like are they going to give her anything or is it going to be sudden only her focus episode and then back to normal? Because I'm afraid that's what's going to happen. They're going to be like, oh, we need to have Holmon this episode, so I guess we need to focus on Sora.
I guess I'm just sad thinking about how the original adventure handled that with like giving her an interesting thing she was doing in those episodes before Grutamon appeared.
Hmm.
Like, oh, that was so good and so interesting, and oh well.
Yeah, I also, unpopular opinion, I really prefer her original outfit to her current one.
I can't remember what her current one looks like, so.
I mean, let's be fair. That's a legitimate concern.
Oh, it has the butterfly. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, I agree with you, Andy Lucas, Oe, that Sora adventure and this adventure needs to be given a lot more attention, or at least a lot more dedication to trying to establish any sort of character with her.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't. Given how much characterization we got of other characters, I doubt that the show has it in its arsenal to give her much. So, oh well. I remember early on the show, like I was complaining about things like, oh, Birdramon didn't get an elaborate evolution sequence, and now I'm
Hmm.
just like, I don't care about that. I just want Sora to talk.
I mean, you can see why now that she wasn't given any elaborate sequence because they had zero plans. Oh, that being said, for this episode, did Lilymon get a new evolution sequence?
Yeah, I think that was the first time that appeared. That was interesting that they.
Yeah, I liked it because I
Yeah.
was like, "Hello, Adventure Evolution. Nice to meet you again."
Well, I think when she first appeared, like it wasn't like a bad sequence, but it was just like, oh, okay, it's like generic magical girl like
Yeah,
appearance kind of thing. But this one was like, I don't know, it definitely felt like flashier. Like the camera was moving around a bunch and it was very fluid animation.
yeah, no, I quite enjoyed it. I just remember that when I thought about Bertramon's sad, you know, Digivolution, it made me remember that I wanted to mention that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So next comment from @pastelmonart. I like this episode as a continuation of both Tanamon's village and Gardemont's episode. Mimi shows again her desire to be a leader, while also this time she protects a friend/follower. I see it as a character growth. Of course, all the gem plot was BS though. So yeah, I think this is referring to the fact that she like abandons the Gotsumon for
hmm.
the gems is BS. And getting to that some more, the next comment is kind of a doozy. And I should explain each week they have a new update. These two listeners, they were initially Megadramon 22 and Gigadramon 22, briefly evolved into. Wait, no, yeah. The first, then they changed to Gigadramon and Megadramon with a Y, but then they both evolved into Megendramon, but one of the Megendramons had a Y, and now they've both reverted into eggs. So there's the red Digi-Egg and the blue Digi-Egg.
That's great.
And they're changing the Twitter handle each time. So, oh
Hmm.
wait, no, actually, I missed this step there because briefly one of them turned into Holy Sukawomon, who was a
Oh,
proposed evolution of Sukamon into a magical girl, Holy Sukawomon,
oh my
um,
gosh.
which I linked to in the show notes last week, and now that link does not work because they changed their handle to Red or Blue Digi-Egg. But anyway, so this comment is from the Red Digi-Egg. And they said, we've just had a domestic over this, which I assume domestic argument with
Yeah.
Blue Jig. But I hate this episode more than any other. Mimi's management, her obsession with treasure, gaslighting, lying, and being chaotic and quirky was to me sexist and super annoying. Princess Karaoke was way better and felt like a spoiled young girl who realized she had control and manipulated it, while this feels like cheap jokes and insulting stereotypes of a kooky girl who likes shiny jewelry. The story did nothing to redeem Mimi or give her a hero moment like Princess Karaoke did through Sora and singing, and instead showed her to be an annoying child pretending to be a boss under the guise of helping them. Honestly surprised she didn't leave with gems in her bag or have the Digimon offer them rocks to take with them. Not funny, not inspiring, no lesson, no arc, move on. So that's a very cynical take, but
Yes.
fair, because I think
Yeah.
we had some of the same frustrations.
Yeah, I can definitely see where they're coming from this. I think that my thing is I am cynical on the end of like Japan writing female characters that
Mm,
are, well-rounded. I don't think that that's something that they do very often. Not an attack on Japan in general, just like the anime industry in Japan. Like I don't see them being like, you know what, we need a female character who's like just written just as well as Taichi and Yamato. I don't see him doing that, which is really sad. But I think they were like, what did little girls like? Shiny things. Let's have her want to like, get jewelry and gems. So I think that was probably their line of thinking in that. Not defending it in the slightest. But I don't know. I wasn't like aggressively angry watching it. I do agree though that I think that the Princess Mimi part, I liked how that worked a little bit better.
I feel like Princess Mimi, Princess Karaoke, like I don't know. I mean, not having rewatched it recently, and only recently having mainly watched it in the dub version. Just some caveats, but like I feel like
Yeah.
it that to me felt more sexist. That it's like what does a girl want more than anything? It's to boss people
To
around.
be a pretty princess.
Yeah, and like so I kind of feel like this like her looking up to her grandfather and wanting to be a CEO and like and manage a company. That to me felt like a much more interesting and gender progressive way of what she was aiming for.
Like when I think about it is more progressive. And like the fact that this season, like this version of it, that she's very much like idolizing her grandfather's company and like being a business person, it kind of feels more so like rather than have her be like a spoiled little girl, she's like, trying to achieve these like goals that probably 20 years ago in Adventure weren't really realistic, like not realistic, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't something that they probably would write for a female character. So
Like it wasn't. It's kind of like not directly addressing the glass ceiling, but it's kind of like vaguely being like, oh, maybe Mimi could grow up to be a CEO, which doesn't feel like to
yeah,
be part of the conversation 20 years ago as much.
maybe it's trying to push her a little more towards like the Kisuna Mimi. I don't know.
Mm.
The 2 seconds she was in that movie. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it probably is somewhat inspired by that.
Yeah.
And I think it's a cool thing to pull in. But I mean, I do think that, like I was saying at the top of the show, that like a lot of Mimi's fun comes at the expense of like realistic growth. If that makes sense. Like
Yeah.
she's always been like, what is fun about her is also what makes her hard to deal with as an actual, if she was an actual person. Like,
Hmm.
so I do feel like there's always that inherent like push and pull, and I think like that Try movie Focus on Her tried to kind of address that question and struggle with it.
Yeah. Like saying she was so self-centered.
Right. And like, I think that was, I mean, I have my issues with Try, but I feel like that was an interesting attempt to explore that. Whereas this is
Yeah.
like, okay, no, it's just a joke and don't think about it too much. And I feel like if this were in a more entertaining show, we would just like,
Hmm.
wouldn't question it because, like, okay, like, but like, because this is like the one like bit of levity we've gotten for so long that it's like
Yeah.
feels like this is our only chance to get it. I don't know. It feels more disappointing to me.
I'm almost wondering if for me like the reasons why I remember fondly like enjoying the Princess Karaoke Mimi episode was because it's nostalgic and it was what I watched growing up and I also saw it 20 years ago. So, I have fonder memories of it. Like I actually did think that this one was pretty funny and I enjoyed it. I think both episodes kind of show like Mimi's slight tinge of hypocrite, like being a
Mhm.
hypocrite sometimes, where she's like, do as I say, not as I do, and it's like you're doing the exact same thing, or you're not being the greatest person right now. But with this episode, I don't see any malice in it, or like I don't really see it as being self-centered. I think it's just like Mimi acting in what she believes is someone's like is these Digimon's like best interest and being like, I know what to do for you, and I know this is what's going to make your lives better. So just leave it to me, bossing you and other people around to get you to your goal.
Yeah, like thinking about like the inherent, not hypocrisy, but the inherent like contradiction in Mimi. That it reminds me of watching Drag Race and like taking delight in things that like if these were people like having an argument like your friends or something, you would never
Yeah.
like delight in this kind of like silly, dramatic, over the top thing, but like
Yeah.
it's a show. It's like a like there's a layer of it's not real life, and that's not a great example because that's reality TV. Those are real people.
I mean, but at the end of the day, I said what I said.
Yeah, so like I feel like there's I feel like I often have this emotion watching Drag Race where I'm like, okay, I mean, I wish they like actually said there's feelings and like
Yeah.
actually talk this out, but like it's more entertaining and more fun when they don't and when they just like get into elaborate fights.
I mean,
So
you can argue to an extent anyway, even if it's quote unquote real people, they are characters they're
yeah,
portraying on TV.
that's true. Yeah.
So it's, an amplified version of themselves, whether that's like intentional or whether that's like because of the pressure of the competition and the cameras that, I say that it's something that you could kind of compare in a way. Because honestly, yeah, like as much as I like Mimi, I don't know if in real life, if I had a girl like that I was dealing with, if I would like her as much. Um,
Yeah, I feel like it would be if you actually had to deal with her, it'd be more we would all be more like those classmates in Try that couldn't deal with
yeah,
her, couldn't put up with her.
yeah.
But I guess a counterpoint from at the Blue Digi Egg, and they said Mimi got to actually beat her Shogun Gekomon this time rather than Tai showing up and overshadowing her. Yay, the red egg is wrong.
Winky
and
face.
and they said I really liked that Mimi led in Mimi's way. Would have been easy to let her just blandly make a plan, but no, her good heart meant she was going to save the miners no matter what, and get the gems too. It felt so Mimi and honestly like Yoli too. Her personality is definitely the strongest out of all the kids. I would push back on this a little bit in that, like, I think I agree with the Red Jig in that,
Hmm.
like, I don't know if I think that she was focused on the Gots. Like, at the point where she get banned the Gotsumon for the gems, I was like, maybe she doesn't care about both. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, like, I think she had like multiple motivations there, right? She wanted to be like pretend. It was like playtime where it's like I'm gonna pretend to be like what I think my grandpa would do in the situation, but it's also like I'm gonna get what I want to out of the situation. So I think that it's like multi-layered. There's like lots of stuff going on there.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, she's emulating, but also has her own preferences and feelings too.
Yeah. Also, I don't know if I would say that her personality is like I guess it depends on what you can consider like the strongest. Like if you mean the strongest in terms of like she's going to be loud about what she wants, then she's up there. But I still think that Taichi has like as the main character the probably the strongest personality out of everyone. He's the one that like is the most I am shonen hero. Hear me roar.
Do you think that's like by nature of like what the show is force feeding us, and like so we have to like? Do you think there's actually like a bunch of nuance to him, or do you think it's like we just have the camera focused on him?
It's the camera focused on him.
Hmm.
I don't think he has like a ton of nuance. Maybe I will be surprised in later episodes. I will take this comment back, but he does really just feel like the shonen protagonist that you can kind of be like I'm the protagonist. This is I have to drive the story forward. I'm going to take charge and do risky things and be the center of the star of attention because I want I want to protect everyone kind of things. But I guess like outside of Taichi, she has one of the like stronger personality types in the group. I don't know if I would consider like Yamato to even have a strong personality because he's just so like mellow and Nissan.
Yeah, he's been very mellow this time around. He hasn't had any like even when like Takaru like runs off and gets into danger repeatedly,
Hmm.
he's just like, okay, but next time stay behind this bush. Please
Yeah.
do it for real this time. Oh, you didn't? Okay. But next time please do it. Like,
Meanwhile, Hikari just exists.
yeah, yeah. Uh, well, okay, so on to some questions. At the Blue Egg asked, maybe it's beating a dead horse, but comparing this episode's Mimi to 1999 Mimi, how do you feel about all the kids being up for a fight 24/7 as opposed to Mimi and Joe being more opposed to fighting and instead looking for other solutions? I think that aspect of Mimi and Joe was really just in that one arc towards the end of Adventure in
Hmm.
with the Dark Master Saga. So I don't think that it's like so far a huge divergence. I mean, I definitely do feel like there's a bit of a like Mimi's like glee in watching Togemon fight feels pretty different, but
I mean, I loved that scene in this episode where they had the flashback to
oh yeah.
Togewan fighting. That was great. So I don't know. Yeah, I think that it is a little bit different. I can't really quite put my finger on it, but I also don't know how much of my like memories of the 1999 version are jaded by watching it through the English dub because I haven't finished seeing the original series in Japanese, but I don't know. I think that maybe this time they're more gung ho fighting. Maybe they're not. I can't give an educated statement on that.
Yeah, I guess I feel like I didn't think about it too much this episode because I guess I didn't even think about what happened to Gogumon. I guess he got killed. But like with Andromon, not Andromon, was it Andromon? Yeah, it was Andromon.
Yeah.
I definitely felt a lot more like complicated thoughts about like, does she have no remorse for killing Digimon? But then it was also unclear if she did or didn't.
Yeah, I would say that, like, if I think back to original Adventure 2, like, most of the time when like, if I think of Lilymon fighting, it seems like in the new version, Lilymon flat up, like, she kills Digimon,
Yeah.
and in, like, an Adventure, she's like, "Let me put a flower necklace around you and make you happy." Lilymon doesn't hold any punches in this one.
Which I mean, I guess I found the flower ring thing frustrating because it's like feels like she's not as cool or as powerful as the other
Yeah.
characters. So like I guess this is in that sense an improvement. But yeah, in the sense of like being more rich characterization for her to be conflicted, I do kind of miss
Mhm.
that. But yeah. At BRCN said, "Is the theme song full of hints for the series?" And they quote, and this is the opening song. They quote,
Yeah.
"A familiar town becomes a diorama, maybe
Mhm.
hinting at fake Tokyo, and bursts through the unclear skies, maybe hinting at Marimon, and blow away your worries and discontent, maybe hinting at Machine Germon or War
Mhm.
Greymon episode." I think this is an interesting theory, but I think is this a big stretch.
So for me, I personally, although it could be wrong, I think that it's just like these are generic type opening theme terms that they're
Mhm.
using. And so it's like it's cool that they had like the diorama thing,
Yeah, that one's the strongest, I think. But
but
even that,
I don't think that that's on purpose. I think they're like, let's find a cool English word, diorama. And they put it in there. Actually, is that diorama in like I don't know. I don't remember the lyrics of the opening right now, but regardless, I think that it's just the anime opening and it's a coincidence. That's my thought for now. Maybe it isn't, and maybe there's some deep meaning. Who knows?
I also feel like I don't know the specifics how this song was written and created and stuff, but like I feel like for a show like Digimon, it's probably not like written with the knowledge of the show in mind.
Yeah.
Like it's not like I've heard stories about I think this was about Weathering with You that like Makoto
Hmm.
Shinkai like sketched out the story ideas or like wrote like a I don't know if it was a full script or whatever, but like the like basic plot beats and then gave it to Radwimps and then they like wrote the songs and then they
Hmm.
made the movie to the songs kind of like there was like they were intricately involved in the process of making the movie. I don't think this happens for anime openings like this. I think it's just yeah, like you were saying like fun cool words and I did confirm that it is.
Oh yeah, it's diorama. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I just looked at the lyrics too. Yeah, no, I think that it's just coincidence. Yeah, looking at these lyrics, they look pretty generic too.
Yeah, I feel like this. I like the opening, but it is not that generic's bad, but like my first
Yeah.
reaction whenever I hear it is like, is this the opening to a Haikyuu? Is this a Haikyuu opening? Which is like I love Haikyuu openings, so like it's not
Yeah.
a bad thing, but it's like it just feels like it could be placed into a any other shonen show.
Yeah. I mean, like Giuna Glorious Warudo, yeah, like that could be in One Piece. Like, yeah. I don't think that there's a lot of, thought about this, but that being said, like I've said, I could be wrong. There could be some very deep meaning.
That feels so so Chunibyo, glorious world in
Yeah.
English, like.
Yeah. I don't think I'd say that in anything besides a Japanese song.
Okay, so at Dak and Jackster mentioned my favorite track of 2020 is the music they plays when Takaru encounters Radimon and they mentioned that a version of it plays when Lilymon does her Giga Drill Breaker, which makes it extra cool. And they ask if there are any OST tracks that particularly stand out to us, but I don't have a good answer because I like there are moments in this OST that I think are really great, but I haven't like pieced together the actual songs yet.
Yeah, my problem is that I don't know the names of any of these songs besides the insert tracks. So when the
Yeah.
insert tracks come on, I'm just like, yeah, insert song. But with the other ones, I'm just like, oh, I've heard this melody before. This is a nice song. So I wish I had a better answer for you. But yeah, no, I think that's cool that you realized that that was a different version of it. Awesome for you.
Yeah. I think that like I am excited for when the show's over to like I hope there is an OST release so I can like listen to
Yeah,
these tracks on their own.
yeah, that would be cool. Hopefully they have all like the different arrangements or remixes or stuff. I think it'd be awesome. So good
Yeah.
for like kudos to you, Jack and Dexter, for pointing this out.
At Empire Will asked, this episode had lots of Digimon World references. Goborimon and Gatsumon in mountain regions were common, and Leomon has a training area. Does this series hold up better if it's more explicitly a homage to the whole franchise and not just adventure? And the thing that this makes me think of with the Digimon World references is
Hmm.
that I wasn't a Digimon World fan. Like I didn't play any Digimon World games, so I take this with a oh my god, what's that phrase?
Grain of salt?
Grain of salt, yes. I was like, a pinch of grain? That's not
A
right.
pinch of pepper?
So take this with a grain of salt. But what I really enjoyed is the homages to Digimon World in the card game, where it's basically like, oh, here's this I don't know like what it's like a monochromon card, and
Mhm.
in this card, monochromon is sitting at the exact position that they would have been in Digimon World, but it's like more elaborately illustrated and stuff. But you can, or it's like Gabumon in this cave, and this is the cave where Gabumon was in Digimon World, and it's like
Mhm.
those I think are really cute subtle references that pay off really well. Things like this where it's like, oh, they're in a mountain region, or like Kushro mentions a gym. I don't know. I think those are a bit too vague.
I mean, I think that they could be like references to Digimon World. I just like you, I didn't play the PlayStation games, so I'm not sure. I mean, besides like the new ones like Cyber, Sleuth and Hacker's Memory,
Hmm.
I haven't played any other ones on the PlayStation. I did play like Digimon World Dusk and Dawn, and I liked those in spite of their battle systems. But yeah, no, I think that it's a possibility that they could be referencing those, but I think it also could be a coincidence. Because like you were saying, Gaburimon in like a mountain. That seems like pretty normal to me.
Well, I think it's like even if it was intended as a Digimon World reference, like how would you make that clear aside from it just being like a vague connection? Which is why I think that like the card game is like you can put them in
Mhm.
like literally the same like shot kind of or
Yeah.
like put them in the like behind the same piece of furniture, and
Hmm.
then that feels like a great connection. Whereas like with an anime, like unless you're going to actually like recreate the town or something, like, recreate the
Hmm.
scenery exactly as is as a setting in the anime, unless you do that, it seems like
Yeah.
there wouldn't be the payoff, you know.
Hmm.
So unless it's like a Digimon World only character, like I think there are like random Digimon forms that are in obscure video games. Like there's a Chaos Greymon, I think. That's just like a random recolor
Hmm.
of that looks basically like Blackwell Greymon. Like, okay, if they included that, then like that would be a nice homage to whatever game he is from,
Hmm.
Digimon World 2, apparently. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like anime references are the easiest to pull off in an anime medium.
Definitely agree on that one.
So, last question from Bojack90, and they asked, if Toei did a Mimi and Palmon spinoff, would you watch it? What genre would it be? Slice of life, action, adventure, comedy, etc. And what would you want it to be about?
So for me, if Toei did a Mimi and Palmon spinoff, I want it to give us that season one Digimon cooking show because I want to see
Ooh.
all the cooking adventures that the two of them would have together. How does Palmon help Mimi chop the vegetables? How does Palmon help Mimi get the groceries? Like, I need these answers. So yeah, please make it a cooking special. That's my case.
And are Palmon's vines edible?
I don't want to eat my partner Digimon, so
But like when she makes the vines, like that's new mass. That
I
like
guess technically. So if we were going down a weird audition style like cheese wire thing, then maybe she could like cut off her vines and make new ones. I mean, like Japan has lots of things like burdock root and stuff that they use for like kimpira and other salads and stuff. So maybe like a vine from a palmon would be really good in like a carrot and palmon like ivy salad. I I don't know. It's poison ivy, so I don't really think I'd want to eat it.
oh, that's a good point. Oh, I regret going down that route. I think what I was thinking of would be a the thing that immediately came to mind was a detective kind of show
Oh, that'd be fun.
where they like at first I was like, what would Mimi and Palon fit into like stereotypical Sherlock Holmes and
Hmm.
Watson roles? But no, I don't think so. But I think it'd be fun to see them like kind of like the setting of Cyber Sleuth, like investigating digital
Hmm.
mysteries, and but maybe like because like it's not entirely Mimi's like only strength, but like one of Mimi's big strengths is having a bunch of different friends that like would have expertise in different fields.
Hmm.
Like maybe she would be like consulting other characters to help with a mystery and stuff.
Or like her, American boyfriend from Adventure 2.
Yeah, bring him back in and
Bring him back in and have him, fade out again. Maybe, like, I feel like it would just end up halfway through the episodes. Like, some of the time she'd be like, "Hey, Koshiro, can you help me? I
yeah.
need some data research." And Koshiro would be like, "Okay, Mimi."
Well, I think it'd be a fun interplay to like have her like for some technical things need to rely on people like Koshiro, but like
Yeah.
she really figures out the mystery herself because she's like it would give her time to like actually show off her own talents and skills that she's actually smarter than everyone else.
Yeah, she's actually Sailor Mimi.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think that the possibilities are endless. Mimi and Palmon could have virtually any spin-off, like a Cardcaptor Sakura version of Mimi, where, instead of, I don't know, getting Digimon, she would be fighting different Clow cards. I think it'd be fun.
Yeah, I mean, like any genre, like they mentioned, slice of life, action, adventure, comedy, they would all work. Just put Mimi in everything.
Yes.
All right, so I think that's pretty much a wrap on this episode. How would you rate this episode out of 5 stylish diamonds spit out by an evil tyrant?
If I could avoid the, Digimon cannibalism, I would prefer it. But if we had to rank it with stylish diamonds, I would give it probably about 4.5 stylish diamonds. I like it. I thought it was good. I thought it had flaws though, which is why I can't give it 5 stylish diamonds. But I'd probably give it a solid 4.
Okay, so you think you're leaning more towards 4 than 4.5?
Okay, now I'm thinking about the drill piercing the heavens. So 4.5. I'll end with 4.5.
All right.
Or maybe 4 stylish diamonds and an emerald. There we go.
Oh, okay.
That's the half.
So I'm gonna give it 4.5 as well. I was never really considering 5 just because like this is like I would reserve a 5 for like a perfect episode, and like
Yeah.
as much as I love this episode, I don't think it was like transcendent.
I mean, they would have had to have Rosemon or some other fun stuff in there for it to be a 5 to me. They need to, give the hints for people's evolutions as well.
Yeah. So I think it was like definitely the best episode in recent memory of the show for me.
Yeah.
And I feel like I was hesitant. I could almost lower it down to a 4 after. I think in the course of the discussion, I think we came up with a lot of more negative points that like have kind of added some new perspective and made me think about it a little bit less favorably. But I think it was overall just lots of fun, and I can only hope for more episodes that were this level of fun.
Exactly, which makes me wonder how they're going to make the human Digimon sacrifice next episode fun.
I mean, you don't think of Gabumon as Jesus when you think of Gabumon? Like,
I mean, I think Leomon is Jesus. So
that's just fact. So
yeah.
So who'd your MVP be this episode?
My MVP. I guess my MVP would have to be
Sunarisamon, right?
I mean, my favorite, Sunarisamon. No,
So much personality.
actually, it would be. Oh my gosh, it's go. Is it go? It's not Golemon. What is it? The yellow golemy looking thing that Togemon fought.
Oh, Golemon, yeah.
Golemon, that was Golemon? Okay, see, I'm losing all my knowledge. Yeah, Golemon was my MVP. I liked at the end when he had the flower heart wreath on his shoulder, and I don't know, his interactions with Mimi were very cute, and the fact that he talked, I liked him a lot. I thought he was MVP for me this episode.
I like how he doesn't die and remains conscious when he's fallen apart and he's just a head.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I saw that and I was just like, oh, did I see that correctly? Yes, in fact, he is just a head. That's fun.
Oh yeah, that was pretty fun. I overlooked that how fun he was. But yeah, I have no choice. I'm gonna go with a basic answer and say Sunarisamon, my favorite. I shouldn't be too mean to them. They look kind of cute. But no, I'm saying Mimi. It's gotta be Mimi.
Mimi is MVP. Yeah, no, she definitely was an MVP this episode. She was the CEO. She was the boss.
Yeah, it's true. She was literally she would have ranked herself MVP of the company. So
yeah, I think definitely. I think she always would rank herself or Palmon MVP. Those are pretty much the only 2 options in Mimi's world.
One note I forgot to mention on this episode is that I think it's clear now, having seen the Koshiro and Mimi episodes back to back, that I think what they're going for with this arc is like checking in with the other main characters and not getting an evolution. Yeah. Like basically like a bridge to their having another round down the road where they get their mega evolutions, but this one being like some more character development, not an evolution. It's unfortunate though that it seemed like they also had to shoehorn in Blitzgreymon into last week. But
yeah, like I think that these are episodes where I would be fine with them not giving an evolution if they had given them extra stuff like Weregarurumon or Metal Greymon, where it was just like, and Lilymon suddenly can turn into a flower tank and just mow down the competition, or Alter Kabuterimon gets a jetpack and just blows stuff up. I don't know. I can't think of a good thing to add on to them, but they could have given them extra stuff.
Yeah, it's especially a weird contrast in light of the way they've gotten us to be hype about Taichi and Yamato episodes has been by giving them extra cool things. So then it's
Yeah.
weird for when it comes to this other characters to be like, just focus on the character, don't think of the other cool things. And it's like, you trained us to be excited about the cool things, though. Like,
hmm
you could just give the other characters the cool things too.
I mean, they could just like throw a fun bone and let us have DNA Digivolution in this series too with other people, so that we don't only have Omegamon. We've got like, I don't know, cool other stuff too. I wouldn't mind that.
It's now you're just making me depressed because that's too ambitious. It's
I
like,
know it's too ambitious, but you know, you have to have dreams, right?
well, okay. So next week's episode is episode 38, the Blazing Blue Friendship. It seems like Godmon's gonna be sacrificed in a curse ritual, and Yamato has to save him. And there's a Mephismon
Mhm.
glowing. I assume Mephismon is sacrificing them for Millenniumon.
Probably.
Are you watching WandaVision?
Yes, and that was what I was gonna bridge to. Actually, Agatha it was Agatha all along.
But yeah, and I know nothing about like actual Marvel lore, but I've been listening to podcasts talk about WandaVision, and I guess Mephisto is the thing that people are
hmm
expecting in the show. So you know, it's audacious of them to debut Mephisto in Digimon first, but you know,
I mean, exactly. See, when I was watching this, though, I initially thought I was like Pazuzu, Persona Demon, Pazuzu, or Baphomet. Hello, and I was just like, no, no, this is Mephistomon, Mephismon.
yeah, I don't like Mephismon is one of those things that sound natural in Japanese and does not sound natural in English. Like
You know, I want either Mephestomon or Mephistmon or Sadenmon. Like, give me something fun.
Mephistomon, I don't like because it sounds like
Oh yeah, it sounds like that. Well, we could have like Baphometmon or something.
mm,
That could be.
yeah. So yeah, this episode seems like it's going to be a pretty direct parallel to that. Well, I mean, direct parallel, and then it's going to have Joe and Yamato and something about Yamato realizing friendship, but no diner, no Digitamon.
I mean, I liked Digitamamon in the diner. That was classic. So
Yeah,
it's kind of sad that we're not going down that route. I know they're trying to like spice things up. Have we had Metal? We haven't had Metal Garurumon show up yet,
no,
right?
no, not even like a hint, really. I don't think.
Yeah, because for a second here I was like, is this gonna be Metal Garurumon? Who knows?
Yeah, I think they it was a clever way to play coy with Mephismon because it's like, well, if they're only playing Mephismon, then no. But if
Yeah.
Mephismon evolves, then maybe.
Yeah.
So I don't know. What do you think? Which way are you leaning?
I think they could shoehorn it in, considering like when they had War Greymon's evolution, it seemed like very like last 5 minutes or 3 minutes of the episode type
Yeah.
thing. So I don't put anything past them. We could have Black Weir Garurumon show up as another evolution instead. Who knows?
Don't get my
Because
hopes up too much.
yeah, no, that would be cool, but that's probably not going to happen. But yeah, they could do something weird, and they could be like, "We are not going to give you Metal Garurumon. We are going to give you Raydramon." There you go.
I mean, I think it's pretty likely that Metal Garurumon will appear, but I think it's going to be frustrating if what I was saying before is true, that this is like an arc checking in on all the kids. Like
Mhm.
like if we get Yamato and we get Metal Garurumon this episode, and then the next episode is Sora, and we
Yeah.
don't get evolution, and is there anyone else after that? Oh, and and if there's a Joe and Sora episode after this one where they don't get evolutions, that will feel pretty frustrating because it's like, I mean, it's not new. The favoritism isn't new, but it'll just make it more frustrating.
Now, my question I've thought of the whole time I've been watching this series, though, is that they obviously gave Patamon Pegasmon so that they had Angemon is too powerful. We're not gonna have you evolve into that. But then, is this setting up that we're only gonna get up to Magna Angemon in this series, and we're not gonna get Seraphimon at all? Or I don't know what they're doing with that angle.
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, it makes sense that Pegasmon is there, like, needs to be there as an all
Yeah.
round, basically as a thing for Takuru to ride when they
Yeah,
need him to ride stuff.
I thought that they were going to do Nefertimon and not Anjouamon actually a couple weeks ago. That was what I had thought was going to happen, but then it was like, nope, next episode is Anjouamon. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's kind of interesting how they've reframed the reason that Tailmon is in adult or champion stage, and it's
hmm
kind of just because she never got reverted like Patamon did. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I think so too. I've always really liked Salamon, so I'm sad that Salamon never gets like any airtime.
Yeah, that must be a tough job to be the official rookie in a line that no one cares about the rookie for, and just
Yeah. I just love that it's cat, dog, cat.
Yeah.
Angel with boobs.
Angel with boobs, and then maybe back to a cat-ish
Furry
dog
dragon?
thing.
Furry dog, dragon, cat? Yes.
Yeah, it's like, is it a cat? Is it a dog? Is it a dragon? Doesn't matter as long as it's furry.
Yes.
So I think of these characters next week, the regulars like Yamato and Joe are definitely gonna talk. Gabumon, probably gonna talk.
Yeah.
Mephismon,
Maybe gonna talk. If he's talking about like let's offer you to Millenniumon. Oh.
yeah, maybe even like with a Vocaloid or like a machine speak kind of thing.
And before it's Hatsune Miku.
Yeah, Hatsune Miku makes her Digimon debut. I mean, she did that crossover with Agumon. This is the reason.
Yeah. This is the reason she's gonna be Mephisto.
All right, so I think that brings us to the end of the show. So last week's Digiprompt was, what do you think a plant-themed Greymon should look like? And my favorite response came in from our very own Andrew /@Drew Softman on Twitter, and he said, Earl Greymon. This variation of War Greymon is citrus-themed, with armor made out of orange peel, with a helmet that makes him resemble a mustachioed English gentleman in a boiler hat. His nonviolent weapon that skirts American broadcast laws is an umbrella that shoots hot tea. And I think the thing that really, like, I'll always love this as a pun just because, like, Earl Grey. Perfect Earth-themed Greymon form. Perfect.
That's actually brilliant. I love it. A+. Please make this the actual, like, replace Blitz Greymon with this, and I am down.
And an honorable mention to @.yawning, who had an idea for a Mandra Greymon with leafy armor, poisonous stabby weapons, berries in place of shoulder spikes, and to take after a Rosemond's Tail Digimon, a flowy cape and lots of exposed skin. And they also included they drew up their concept, so I'll have a link to that in the show notes. Yeah, so this week's Digiprompt is, in honor of Golomon's promotion to acting president of Mimi-chan Company, what Digimon would you leave as acting president of your company while you're away? You can send your responses or general feedback to podages@gmail.com, Podages on Twitter, or in the episode comments on podages.com. Share the podcast with your friends who will fight to unionize your workplace. Unlike Mimi-chan, I guess. And it would be awesome if you leave a review on Apple Podcasts. It only takes a minute, and each review helps a ton. If this is your first episode, please subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, or wherever else you find podcasts. And I am @JeffLingJeff on Twitter, and you can also check out my general anime podcast, Love It a Wee Bit, where we are finally getting to start the winter 2021 season, which is exciting. There's a bunch of cool stuff in there. So, Aaron, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Oh, no worries. I had a great time. I mean, any excuse to talk about Mimi and Lilymon, I am down.
And if people want to find you in the digital world, where can they go?
I mean, hey Digimon, you can find me on Twitter at ZephyrKaze. Zephyr like the English word Zephyr, and Kaze like the weeb Japanese word for wind.
And also Zephyr like Zephyrmon and Kaze like Kazemon.
I mean, exactly. I mean, I thought I didn't have to even say that here. I'm on a Digimon podcast. It should be obvious. Sad fact, I never finished watching that series, but I do know both those Digimon.
And thank you everyone for listening, and I'll be back next week to talk about episode 38. Is that the right number? Yes. Episode 38, The Blazing Blue Friendship. Bye.
Bye.
And remember, never stop digital. Okay, so from here on out, we're going to be talking about the episode 39 title and maybe synopsis. So if you want to remain spoiled for 2 weeks from now, check out now. But okay, so Aaron, you saw the title?
Yeah, and I read that synopsis, and this sounds insane. What is this episode?
I was like, okay, Jagemon's Potato Hell, nothing can get weirder than that. And it's like, Burgermon, what is going
on? Are these Digimon that have designs up currently that like actually exist, or did they make them specifically for this fast food themed episode?
I don't know about this Potamon, but Burgermon is in Frontier, if you had gotten to it.
I mean, yeah, like I said before, such a stan.
Well, I know that the Burgermon...
Oh, Burgermon's cute. I've seen Burgermon before, yeah.
When I tried to Google for Potamon, all I found was like, I tried searching for Digimon Potamon, and Google's like, did you mean Pokemon? Because it's just the K with the T. So I'm not sure if this Potamon thing exists, this potato Digimon.
Oh yeah. Okay. So I actually do know Jaggamon. I forgot because I was just like, "What Digimon do we have that's a potato?" And I was just
Oh
like,
yeah.
"Oh, that was supposed to be potato this whole time. I thought it was rocks."
Yeah, I thought it was rocks too, but it has a leaf, I guess, as a tail. I never thought about.
Yeah, maybe the like because I know that like the like that's like the potato thing. So maybe it's gonna turn into a basket of French fries.
I mean, I know that the episode in Frontier with the Burgermon was like part of some kind of a crossover with Lotteria, I think.
Oh yes,
Because
Lotterio.
there's the fried ball Digimon.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot what they're called. It's like hmm, was it Lotteria? Yeah, yeah. Because there's a Wikimon page on Lotteria. Oh my God, there's like I don't know which iteration of the card game this is, but there is this like an item card that's just French fried potato
Oh my
in
gosh,
this Digimon card game.
that's amazing.
That's very important. Yeah, so I don't know. This is I'm excited just for like maybe it'll have the fun and whimsy that this episode had. It won't just be a one-off.
I mean, what we know is going to happen is episode 39 is going to give us Ronald McDonaldmon, which is going to be the new evolution for Metal Greymon because he needs a third Mega.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
mean, actually, a fifth, a 15th. Who knows at this point? Yeah, he needs another one.
so we had an electric themed one, and now we need a burger themed one. Those are the elements.
Yeah. I mean, he could be like competing with Burgermon and then like have it be like a fried chicken version because dinosaurs and chickens they got some similarities. Ancest chickens are the descendants of dinosaurs, so it could be Kentucky Fried Chicken Mon, KFC Mon.
I am also confused by this because it says that this Digimon named Potemon, which I don't think exists yet. Maybe he's
Yeah.
going to debut in the episode. The synopsis says that Joe hits it off with Potemon, a Digimon who loves potatoes, but his name is
Yeah.
also a potato.
Yes.
So I'm like, is this going to be a Digimon made of? Is this going to be like a Digimon that is a like a bucket of French fries that's like, I like eating French fries, and it's like you are French fries.
Yeah.
What is
So
going to
you're
happen?
a cannibal. And then he gets angry when fries are tossed away. So my question is, does Joe throw French fries away, or does someone else throw French fries away? Like Mimi's like, no, they're too greasy, and then he's just like, now I gotta go into a Jagamon.
Oh, you know what? I guess this episode is really going to be pushing the Joe Me OTP because we know that Mimi is all about the that one burger, and if Joe's all about French fries,
Uh-huh.
like I
Oh,
mean, yeah, it's a match made in heaven.
I mean, I guess that Adventure is really wanting to push Koshiro Leomon, so I guess I can't
Yeah,
have my Ko Mimi here, but
is that your preferred chip? Are you a Comey
that
fan?
was my preferred chip. Yeah.
Hmm.
I don't have an opinion on this current iteration of Digimon because I don't see any really strong ship feels for any of them.
I feel like yeah, they're too young and
Yeah.
don't talk to each other at all.